So here's the crazy part. I'm sure a lot of Christians have probably done this, and y'all didn't even know that it was potentially demonic. Literally had no idea until I came across this CBN News article where Jackie Hill Perry, so shout out to CBN News, shout out to Jackie Hill Perry. Jackie Hill Perry, she's an author. She teaches the Bible. She has a popular podcast with her husband, I believe. And she posted an Instagram story talking about how Enneagrams are demonic. So I'm going to read this article to y'all because it's a super interesting article. And then we're actually going to watch the video that Jackie Hill Perry posted where she broke down exactly why she thinks it's demonic. And she has receipts. She has proof. Like, it was a very in-depth breakdown. So I'm going to show that to you. But first things first. What is an Enneagram, right? Some of y'all may not know. I'm sure some of y'all do know. But an Enneagram is a personality test, but more specifically, it's a personality system. So the Enneagram is a system of personality typing that describes patterns in how people interpret the world and manage their emotions. The Enneagram describes 9 personality types and maps each of these types on a 9-pointed diagram, which helps to illustrate how the types relate to one another. So basically, it's a personality test that tells you what type of person you are. These are very common within the workplace. So if you're interviewing for a job, for example, then they might have you take a personality test in order to see how you might fit in with the other personalities in the office. So like I said, I'm sure a lot of people have done this. I've probably done one before. I don't remember, but I'm sure I've probably done one, going through a job interview process. But here's what the CBN News article says. But just real quick, before we get into the article, please support our work. Support our work. If you like what we're doing here on this channel, then you can become a member at patreon.com/NickVonJones. Some of these videos that you see, some of these videos, they can't get monetized because of what we're talking about. YouTube sometimes doesn't like us talking about different religious and, Christian topics. So become a member at patreon.com, support our work, and, help us continue this work that we're doing. Anyway, let's get to the article here. So it says Christian author and Bible teacher Jackie Hill Perry recently shared on Instagram that after studying the widely popular Enneagram personality profiling system, she has come to believe that it is demonic. In her Instagram stories, which have now expired, Perry warns Christians of its dangers. I was really skeptical, she said, and I have been for some years when people were saying that the Enneagram was demonic. She admits that at one point she promoted the cooler personality test. I guess it's some type of personality test that uses the Enneagram system online. But after being prompted by the Holy Spirit to study it, she learned that it was evil and renounced it publicly. It ain't even funny because legitimately doctrines of demons, divination, witchcraft she shared. So let's do this. Let me play this video for y'all. So this is the actual Instagram post that she put up on her page where she is breaking down why she believes that this type of personality test is demonic. So let's get into it.
Say one more thing and then I'm done. Okay, so one of the dudes who was the originator of the contemporary understanding of Enneagram as we know it, he said that he got his information about it through an angelic visitation from a spirit or divine being named Metatron, which we know is a demon. And then the other guy who created the types, he said on YouTube that he got his understanding or the wisdom of types through automatic writing, which is a form of channeling spirits, where a demon basically guides your hand or guides your mind to help you write down certain ideas. So when we say, oh, I'm type 1, type 2, type 3, whatever, we're literally applying to our identity the wisdom of demons.
Okay, I can help.
Like it's literally that deep. And I had, yeah.
Enrica Chile, yeah.
Yeah.
So that came from my own observations, but mostly from automatic writing.
Automatic writing?
Yeah, it came to me through automatic writing.
What did?
The specific information
And it's Enneatypes.
about Enneatypes, which I
Yes.
then verified through observation,
All right.
because
And
I was
this-
surrounded by people
Right.
I was teaching and exploring with.
And I had friends in Enrica who told me essentially the same story,
Yeah.
that
John
there
Lilly.
was no mention of no others besides. He said there was no mention.
So that was the dude who created it, I believe. And he's saying that he got the inspiration through automatic writing, which Jackie Hill Perry just described is inspiration from a demon. Now, this is another one of the creators of the Enneagram who it says that I don't know if I can zoom in on this. Hold on. Let me back this out so I can zoom in so I can read this. This is production on the fly, y'all. Production on the fly. All right, that's the most I can zoom in. So let me just pull this back up regular, and then let me just read this. All right, so it says, one of the creators claimed to have discovered the personality type meaning of the Enneagram while in some kind of ecstatic state or trance under the influence of some spirit or an angelic being. The Archangel Gabriel, the green Q tube 26 or Metatron, the prince of the archangels, the accounts vary. The training offered at Ikaro's Akara Institute includes preparation for the means of contacting various higher beings, such as Metatron. Am I tripping? I thought Metatron was only in Transformers. I thought I must be tripping. Anyway, with whom Ikarzaro himself has been in contact. One of the aims of training offered at Ikaro's Arakara Institute is to put the advanced student into contact with an interior master, the Green Q Tub, which is expected to occur at some point in their development. So one of the creators of the Enneagram is flat out saying that the inspiration was drawn from this being, Metatron, and that they try to get in contact with these otherworldly beings or demons. Let's continue. This is a podcast that she posted, Decoding the Enneagram. So if I might put this in the description. If y'all want to go deeper in this, I might put this in the description. But let's get back to what she had to say specifically on it.
And I was telling Preston, part of this is I've talked about Enneagram on several occasions. And so part of me feels a responsibility to renounce it publicly and to, bring attention to the demonic nature of it. Now, share a few of the things that I processed in the last few days, which is divination, witchcraft, all of this stuff. A lot of it centers around knowledge and being able to access information and secret and mysteries from sources that God hasn't sanctioned, whether that's using astrology, tarot cards, psychics, mediums, etc. And I don't find it odd then that in Genesis 3, that was the temptation to Eve. Like, hey, eat from this tree and you will have the knowledge of good and evil. You will have access to a knowledge that has actually only been reserved for God. And so I think that is still a common temptation. Now, when we think about Enneagram, how do we think about that? Because I think people think, oh, it's giving me knowledge of self. But when it comes to Enneagram, those of us who, believed in it to a certain degree, it was that it just seemed like a cooler personality test. Like it gave me language, or so I thought. It gave me language for who I was and what made me tick and how to understand other people, apart from the spirit. But I think what I'm seeing is that if these men develop this framework from demons, then that means that we are actually choosing to understand ourselves in ways that has nothing to do with the Spirit of God. And why wouldn't Satan want to influence the way we understand ourselves? Wow. I don't know if that makes sense. I think what makes us skeptical is that it's also subtle. It seems good. It seems like wisdom, right? But what happens is, I know for me, in many of the conversations that I have with people about Enneagram, we talk about being a type more than we talk about being united in Christ.
Wow.
We talk about our numbers more than we talk about being a chosen race. We talk about our wings more than we talk about being conquerors. And do you get like, I be at conferences where that is actually a part of the discussion more than the scriptures and
Wow.
what they have to say about our identity. And so we could say all day, oh, it's not an idol, da, 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 but it's like we actually believe the Enneagram more than we believe the Bible when it talks about ourselves. That's concerning. And trippy for me. It really, like, I had to tell the Lord sorry. Like, I'm sorry that I was so ignorant, and I'm sorry that I used my platform to promote evil. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like that makes me sad that I was so ignorant to a false wisdom when the scriptures and Jesus has actually been sufficient the entire time.
Wow. You know what's the crazy part is? All of these things that try to give us wisdom apart from God, in my opinion, are demonic. I mean, she spoke about the Enneagrams, a personality test, trying to define who you are through some sort of test, which a lot of us, we don't even do any research. Somebody will tell us, hey, take this test or Google a personality test to see what you are, to see what kind of career you might, be best fit for and stuff like that. And we just do the test, and then we believe the test more than we believe God. And we don't even look into who created the test. We don't even look into what standards that they use in order and what what curriculum they use in order to establish the parameters for this test. Apparently, I can't talk today. But it's the same thing with astrology. People over-identify. I know Christians who are still over-identified with the fact that they're a Sagittarius or the fact that they're a Capricorn or a Virgo. And it's like, oh, I'm not feeling good today because, I'm a Virgo and, the sun and the moon and the stars is aligned this way and I'm just feeling down and stuff like that. But I thought you were a Christian, though. What do you mean? All that stuff is demonic. Tarot cards, it's demonic. All that stuff, mediums, psychics, readings, all of that's demonic. That should be obvious. But I think this story is so interesting because it's like the more subtle stuff, like Jackie spoke about, the more subtle stuff where it's like we think that we're gaining wisdom about ourselves. We think that we're gaining wisdom about our personality so that we can better use that information and that insight to, help us live a better life. But if you think about that, we just need to go to God for that. We need to go to our Creator for that. If God created us and He created us in His image, then He knows everything about us. We just need to be going to the Creator for this type of knowledge and not to an Enneagram, not to any other source. And I didn't really know that she had promoted these in the past, but look, it's an honest mistake. It's an honest mistake, but it really is freaky to think that something like this, which if we just did a little bit of research, we would find that the origins of these Enneagrams from the mouth of the creators are in fact demonic and influenced by demons. It's so crazy. It's just so crazy. I think about that verse. It's like my people perish for a lack of understanding or for a lack of knowledge. And I think like in these circumstances, like we sometimes we become so naive and we think that everything is so innocent and, but we got to take a little bit of time to do some research. And also we have to be a little bit more discerning to say, hey, Nobody defines who I am except for God. So let me know what you think about this story. Drop a comment down below. Once again, if you want to become a Patreon, the link is down below in the description. I really appreciate your support. Like this video, subscribe. I'm out.